So this first question today is, how do we overcome fear of living your true purpose? All the mental conflict and the negative thought frequencies that pull on you, right? I'm going to turn on my background here. I got some ocean, some of our oceanography, ocean ancestors floating around. I got a star system there, and that's just to dial us into that the ocean is also space. And even also when I talk about out there, paradoxically, I really mean in here, the depths, going deep into self. That's deep space. That's the subconscious. So this question is about, actually skip one, but I'll go back to it. How do we overcome fear of living your true purpose? All the mental conflict and the negative thought frequencies that pull at you. Okay? And what we're talking about today is I want to be action driven. I want to actually, instead of just saying, oh, you do that by, and just becoming a talking head, I'm going to show you some examples of why, if you follow what I'm saying to do, why it will work. Okay, so just give me a quick minute. I'm opening up something. I'm actually going to show you me opening it up. That way you know exactly how to get to it and how to do it. All right. Okay, so what you're looking at here is you're looking at a screen share of Secret Energy 4.0, which is a new website. And right here, you'll see this tab for menu. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on this called Cosmic Energy. Click on that. And where it's going to take me to is it's going to take me to a page that gives me all of the correspondences of the energy that is moving through the day. I am answering the question here, but I'm going to answer it for this person if they listen once and for all, especially when it comes to conquering fears, dealing with mental conflicts, and specifically frequencies, because that's what was mentioned, frequencies that pull on you. Now, what we know when we study frequencies is we know that two of the same frequencies cancel each other out, right? So we speak on frequency a lot, and we speak on that everything has a frequency, but we also have to come to the awareness and the soundness that two frequencies still do cancel each other out. So this is why this chart that I'm showing you has so much power, because everything that is bringing you a discomfort or is taking you into a zone that you do not want to be in is throwing you off balance. And so to obtain balance, you must follow the laws of balance. The laws of balance are already in play. How do you know that? Because there's a cosmos. You don't see really the planets smashing into each other often. There's this level of balance that is being maintained out there. And there's a system of balance that is always in play. And it stretches all the way into the deepest spaces. So that means Earth actually abides by this same system. Now, whether we abide by it or not, with this free choice that we have at times to choose different things, we do have it. I know somebody was saying the other day, we don't have free choice. And that's just well, you don't have it. But our parents, they gave it to us. Now, if you gave it away to somebody else, like your thoughts, that may be something totally different. But specifically, we do have choice. We actually can dial in frequencies and vibrations, and those are our choices. Those are our tools, how we think, what we say. Those are our choices. Those are our tools. So let's just highlight very briefly here. We're on Sunday. And what is necessary is it's necessary for, especially the neophyte and the initiate studying to become an adept, follow the correspondences of the energy that is coming across for the day. Now, it is also very difficult to find these correspondences, meaning that there's a lot of information out there over the years, hundreds of years. Even Agrippa's work is in itself charts of correspondences of energies, but it's so off. so wild. It's as if somebody was attempting to confuse everyone about these correspondences because they're the most powerful things. And the reason why I'm taking a little bit of time in answering this question, because I'm actually just going to refer to this question when I have to look at some other ones and say, hey, follow what I said on the first question when I answered that first question. Because all the solutions to all of the problems that humanity has is contained here within these days of the week of resonance. And it's because what the laws state is that for every single energetic form, there is a klipot, or a shadow. And what this shadow is let's say, for instance, you have a shadow because there's parts of you that you don't know about. We call that what's still in the darkness. And when you overshadow someone or influence, notice that you can be bought under a planet's influence. But since every person is a celestial body, you can be bought under the influence of someone else's energy. So too, different objects and items that correspond to those planetary or celestial bodies can also bring a certain level of influence over you. And this is known about. This is the whole of occultism. I know that some would want to see more, but you see nothing until you master this system. Every single day, being able to pop this off like you do your favorite rap song or your favorite song that you love. You're able to pop off all the lyrics because you've been listening to it all the time and you're able to repeat everything about it. But now it's time for us to be mature. It's time for us to reach adepthood. And that's by taking the time to actually learn the correspondences of the energy that comes across today in order to lock into the synchronicity of the cosmos. And once you do that, you will be able to see everything around you and be able to determine the ma'at, or the math, or the numbers, which are archetypes that are associated with the energy that is around you. And then when knowing that when you're doing something that is not going to be favorable at a certain time, or you're going to be exposed to an energy that is going to throw you off balance, you are then able to use the opposing matching force, meaning that you're able to nullify the shadow side of that energy by being in alignment with the awareness of even having the right gem on that deflects that energy. And again, because all this is energy, when you wear the corresponding things to certain energies, you attract those energies. When you also wear the corresponding energies that deflect certain things, you nullify those energies. So for instance, let's say if you went into the courtroom, okay, the court is all Saturnalian. It's all the order. It's all the rule. And that's sometimes what people confuse about the occultism and the whole Saturn side of things. Saturn being the most malefic planet, meaning Saturn will kill you. It is a martial planet just like Mars, so it will go to war with you. This is all a part of the matrix. So instead of being this starry-eyed pacifist, which we've seen over thousands of years, have never propelled the society in the direction that it should go. Instead of doing that, you become a master magus and learn that actually to deflect what you would say is shadow side of Saturn, it only takes to wear the blue sapphire. So when you're walking into court, you would have the best chances of getting across what you need to get across. Now, some look at magic as something they want to abuse. Like, oh yeah, so now I'm going to go do something bad, and then I'm going to go and then use this ring and get out of the trouble. That's neophyte stuff. That's actually going to probably even work even worse with those kind of intentions, because our intentions are the strongest force. And then you're able to utilize these energies when you're in alignment, when you're in order, when the cosmos is on and in your side. I'll just say it like that. When the cosmos is in your side or in your favor, you're able to then resonate properly, and then you're able to get things done. You're moving with the force of the cosmos. But that's how important this is. And while in life now we have so much information that's out there, this is really the only information that is really important first, especially for anyone just beginning this, because then all your fears would be removed or would lessen because you were around the energies that fortify you and actually give you the balance in the areas that you're vulnerable. So when you're feeling a fear, it's because you have a hole or a leak somewhere. So these are the electrochemical and the frequency-based correspondences that are necessary for correcting those imbalances. Now, these imbalances are always going to take place. This is not me harping on you and saying, oh, you're doing it the wrong way. These imbalances are going to take place because, let's say, what is balance? Balance is keeping what you have in balance. So if you throw a new package on me, I need to balance that new package. If you throw more energy on me, I need to balance that new energy. If I come into another energy field, I got to balance that energy field. I call this the mathematician, the ones that are the connoisseurs of life that are actually looking to maintain balance at all times. Because when you have a lot of power and you come out of balance with it, you destroy things. So really the worst thing is to come out of balance. So you're always looking to find balance. That's why they show you the Mayat weighing the heart against the feather and all this. It's all about balance. But to maintain that balance, especially when you're constantly coming into different energetic fields, you're learning new things. So now that's been added to your energetic body. And all of that now needs to be balanced. So if you're rolling with the cosmos and you understand the energies in there when they're coming across, you know when you're coming out of balance, you know when you're on perfect balance, you know how to tip your scales with other different things. So that's what this is truly about. That's what it is to be an adept. That is what it is to be an occultist or a magus. So I've answered that question. So now I'm going to move to the next question, or the first one. It says, what can we take to recollect our dreams better, or recall our dreams, pieces of our dreams? Write my dreams so I work on keeping track, but recollecting more is an issue, okay? Same answer. Notice today, and this is how we always do. We work to synthesize everything that we've bought so far. It's not about, again, impressing you with new things, because there's nothing really new under the sun. It's about revisiting some of the things that we've already gone through. And because I constantly synthesize and perfect things, that's why we have the Cosmic Energy Calendar, to just be there for everyone, to, even if you don't want to tune into these shows, you don't even really like me, and you don't need to know about all the stuff that I'm talking about, this is what you came here for. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for these correspondences. And we're not trying to hold that back from you or put a paywall there, and you got to pay for it or any of that. We're just giving that to you. Now, of course, this is a mentorship. So having information is great. You can grow abundantly from it, but you're probably going to need tribe, and you're probably going to need a family to begin to connect. And to also, because each of us hold one of these archetypes as our primary, and many of us have actually moved through many of these archetypes, we're capable of showing you by example the energy of the archetype. So when you're around people that resonate certain energies, you're able to confirm to yourself that, wow, that is that number 5 energy. And also you're able to go into spaces and bring all types of levels of solutions, because you also know how to work with energies. Okay. So when a person is talking about dream recall and how to be tuned into their dreams, there's also the herbal connection to this. And I'm going to show that very briefly, that there are things that are going on biologically with the body that don't allow sometimes for, let's say, the organs, the ventricles, the nerves, even parts of the brain to be nourished properly in order to actually not only power up the dream, but allow you to maintain contact and lucidity within that dream state. So I'm going to show you one of the herbal solutions for that. And so we're going to travel over here, and what I've done now is I've gone to, and I'm just showing you again why we place these resources here. Now I've gone to store.secretenergy.com, which of course is the store. And I'm going over here to elixirs, which I just clicked on. And where we're going to go to in elixirs is we're going to go to this lucid dream formula, which is down here. You see this lucid dream kit. We're going to go to that, and we're going to take a look. And we're going to see the things inside of this kit very briefly that propel lucid dreaming. See if I can get an ingredient chart here. I may have to pull that up elsewhere. But we have some Palo Santo to clear the space. That's also important. Why? Because there are energies all over the place. The whole thing is full of energy. So sometimes the recall could just be energies or too many energies in the space that are causing let's say a hyper disturbance. This is like they're distracting you, right? And so that is less attention on the dream and more attention on the energies moving and the feelings moving through the space. So Palo Santo, big time OG, clears the space, right? And then we have the elixirs, which have their ingredients that fill up the alchemical cabinet of the things that are needed in order for you to get into the proper level of relaxation for dream recall, right? Because there's a certain level of being relaxed that you have to be able to get into these spaces. Let me turn me on in here. Bam. Okay. So it's being relaxed, right? And then again, like I said, there are herbs that help fuel certain parts of the consciousness to be able to get into these spaces. Now, I know some may argue and say, well, I could do this by myself. There's always something external, but truly you're not doing anything by yourself. And the reality is that if you need some assistance, you don't even have to think about the whole financial side of it. Well, I can't afford that. All you have to do is set your intentions and say, this is what I need to actually repair myself on this level to be able to achieve this goal. And then you will get what is necessary for you to be able to go forward and do that. So this is very important, is to realize that anything that you, especially spiritually, seek to intend on doing, all you have to do is place your intentions there. Like, I really want to do this. And just watch how things open up. And if it was the lucid dream kit that you decided that you needed, or the dream elixir, you'd be surprised. The next day somebody say, hey man, I got this $100 that I owe you. And that's where it comes in at. It's like, okay, well, let me go get this lucid dream kit. Because the future you can control. The future you can mold, you can shape. And that's what all this knowledge and power is really about. That's all. That's why many people keep looking for answers, but they found the answer already. And then they sometimes see it and they, that's too simple. I'm going to keep going. And because it's got to be more complex than that. It's not. It's really about learning these laws and getting them down pat, as they say, getting them to where you can spout it off, like your times tables. You know all your times tables, right? 9 times 9, 4 times 2. You know all of those things by heart because in school, most of the time they made you write all those down. You write them on the board. You write them 100 times. This is something that if you invest your time into, we're talking about the cosmic energy calendar, if you invest your time into doing that, then it will actually pay off for you. Okay, so the next question here is, how can I easily, which is already easily, the easy route, I didn't find really anything that survived down that path, but I'll go on. How can I easily transmute undesirable emotions from experiences and prevent other versions of myself to project onto me? Okay? Now, I won't be redundant and say, hey, the cosmic energy calendar, even though big solution. I'll also speak towards that when someone is projecting something onto you, okay, like, so let's say, for instance, if you're just in an office building, we won't say in a direct engagement, but in an office building and you work there and you get in there and you start hearing chatter in your mind or start feeling a way that you know is not really connected to your personal feelings and how you felt even that morning. So you know empathically, because as we're increasing more, becoming aware more, we're becoming more empathic. So that means we're picking up on others' emotions and the subtle energies that are going through the environment, right? So many times we ask for this. Pretty much everybody watching this is asking for a variant, at least, of being more empathic, being able to know what goes on and see beyond the veil. That's all a part of being empathic. But then there's an immediate complaint. Once that empathic ability unlocks, whether it's through a cleanse or a fast and a meditation, and one starts to actually gain that ability, there's a complaint, oh man, it's too much. I feel these beings projecting on me, and all this stuff is like, it's too much, right? This is the same thing also that when you start cleaning out your body, Even cigarette smokes just is like, oh my goodness, I'm getting a headache. But before, you may be able to even sit in the smoke room at the airport. Now, you get a headache when you eat a little bit of salt that's ionized and not sea salt. But before, you were eating Doritos and Cheetos and Popeye sandwiches and never bothered you. What is happening? And it's because what you're doing with your body when you're leveling up is you're becoming more sensitive, literally. But the issue, of course, with sensitivity is that it equates to sometimes a vulnerability. That's why some of the masters even say they've tapped into that side of vulnerability and understood what that really is. It's opening up the empathic side of things so much that even things reveal themselves to you that it would edgewise not have done so because they see you in a vulnerable state. It's actually a technique. I even know some animals that lay around in a vulnerable position to attract other animals that think that that animal is vulnerable, only to seize it once it gets really close. So vulnerability is also a technique or power or a trait. But of course, if you can't shut it off, or if you can't use it and then learn how to tune it off, it's almost like, let's say, Superman in one of the movies. He's got all these different senses. He can hear, he can see, he can, all this kind of stuff. But when getting on Earth, just overwhelmed. All the five senses are overwhelmed. The train sounds and all the perfumes and the cigars and the hot dogs and all this stuff is all floating through the air at one time and is overwhelmed. So the first thing the Superman has to learn is how to actually turn those powers down and only use them when necessary. So always remember that while you're going into these cleanses and all these different things, make sure that you have your tool set configured properly to where you can actually turn down your empathy if necessary. This is why even the malefic numbers, which they're what they call malefic planets. Means like they're instead of the yin, they're the yang. And many see the negative side of things as actually being non-useful and things they want to get rid of, something they want to get rid of. But actually, those are the forces that allow you, just like acid and alkaline. If something is too alkaline, I'm too sensitive, I'm reading everything and I'm picking up on too much. Well, pour some acid on it. And acid are the things that you can do in your everyday life that actually dial back your frequency. I know that sounds crazy because, people are just polarized on this. Raise my frequency, raise my alkaline. Well, my alkaline on 20. You'll be in there dead with your teeth disintegrated with high alkaline for too long. Like your stomach acids and all that kind of stuff will just be depleted. You won't be able to digest food. Your bones will become soft. All this is a response to high alkaline. You're looking to be balanced. So always remember this. This is chemistry. This is mathematics. And because of that, it's all about maintaining balance and staying away from the extremes, except for when needing to use that. Like if somebody just drops out in front of you and sick, now you need to go to the extreme of the yin pole to pull energy to heal that person. But to stay on the extreme yin pole in every day of life, you're going to be crying. You're going to feel vulnerable. You're going to feel like nobody loves you. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on. Nobody cares about Earth. You're going to feel all of that. So you also need that yang component. Go out and have some fun with your friends. Go watch a damn movie. Tune it down a little bit. Remember, what the Magus is doing is aware of all of this. So it's not like the action like, oh, yeah, I want to go and party. It may be, I need to go and party to tune down some of this high vibration because I don't actually need to be in that stage right now. And I know that that's crazy to say. I know some people are thinking like, what does that, how? And it's true. It's really about balance here. It's not about high vibration or low vibration. It's about balance and being able to access those poles when necessary. So I'll keep going with this. So just remember, how you transmute those frequencies is, of course, using the correspondences to how to nullify those frequencies. And then also remembering the environment. Do the math already before you go in there. I know I'm going into the office. Judy jokes too much. Paul is totally unconscious. So this is obviously not midnight meditation that you're going into. This is something totally different. So get your wardrobe on. That's why there's war in front of it, because now there's going to be a conflict of frequencies when you go into spaces and you wear these accoutrements. You know, have some lavender in your pocket, have the stone on your finger, right? Have the things that are needed to actually balance out the energies that you're about to go into. That's the adept. The adept knows what's going to go in there and doesn't imagine that, oh, my frequency is so high, it's just going to change everything around me. But that would change the entire workspace, and that would probably, your job would be gone, and all of that would be gone. So it's just, instead of trying to change all the time things that you can't change, work with the things that you actually can, and also get with the powerful forces that have the ability to do that. And that's why nature is so powerful. That's why you see, like, even a simple smell can spread through the entire office. And sometimes even only the sensitive people can even smell it. You see what I mean? So there's ways to reprogram and do things that don't actually require you to just directly get into a conflict with somebody and to start telling them what you know and all of that.